Imagine walking into a room filled with art that perfectly reflects your style, custom made by you, without spending a fortune. In this video, we're using super budget friendly blanks with materials you might already have on hand to create a unique gallery wall with your Cricut. This first wall decor idea is for you cottagecore lovers. Comment cottagecore if that's you. I'm starting with a thrifted frame and this red gingham fabric from Hobby Lobby, a piece of white cardstock, and some brown vinyl. If your frame has a solid insert or a piece of cardboard, you could use that, so I'm not adding the cost of this poster board I'm using to wrap the fabric in. I cut it to size using my paper trimmer so it fits perfectly in the frame, and I cut the fabric slightly larger than the poster so I could wrap it around. I used some double-sided tape to secure the fabric, but before sticking it down, I cut a bit of fabric from each corner to reduce some of the bulk. And then I just folded in the short sides and the long sides to fold it all to the back. Now I created this scalloped page in Cricut Design Space and I made it into a free PNG for you. It's linked below. The flower image is from Creative Fabrica and I'll link to that as well. When adding vinyl to paper, always use a low-tack transfer tape which won't damage the paper. I'm also using parchment paper under the vinyl to prevent accidental sticking before the design is applied. Now the last step is to secure the cardstock to the fabric, and I use that double-sided tape again just to make sure everything stays in place. Now let's reassemble the frame and look at how cute this simple wall decor piece is. Sticking with the cottagecore theme, I'm starting with a wood block from Dollar Tree, a floral patterned paper from Hobby Lobby, and another piece of brown vinyl, which you'll see in just a minute. Now this step is optional, but I wanted to keep the brown theme going, so I used some craft wood stain around the edges of the block. And this is as easy as brushing it on and wiping the excess off. Now to attach the paper, I used the heat activated Mod Podge method, and if you don't know what this is, it's really simple. You apply an even layer of Mod Podge onto your surface and let it dry completely. Then you'll cut your paper to size and place it on the surface, then cover with parchment paper and use a heat press or an iron to iron over the paper on top of the parchment, which reactivates the Mod Podge, and the paper sticks without any wrinkles. Now, if there's any excess over the edges, you can use an X-Acto knife to trim it off. So to finish this piece off, I cut this simple vase from an image in Design Space in some brown vinyl, the same as from the first project, and applied it in the center of the block using that same parchment paper transfer technique. And let me know what style of pattern paper you would use for this block decor. This third wall art idea is more Afro-Boho theme, and the base is a stretched canvas from Dollar Tree. I also used some fabric I had on hand with heat and bond adhesive and some printable iron-on vinyl that I added pattern fill to using this image in Design Space. Now check out my Valentine's video for more details on pattern fill. The heat and bond is a double-sided adhesive meant to bond fabrics together, and I also cut this out using my Cricut, and I used my iron to fuse it to the back of my fabric following the package directions. Once my fabric is fused and my printable iron-on is cut out, it's ready to be ironed onto my canvas using my mini heat press. Now under the canvas I have a book to support the hollow space under the canvas frame. In my last video I mentioned the printable iron-on is my new favorite Cricut material, and this project confirms it. It's super thin while giving the look of texture with the pattern fill. Now just to review the process for ironing this on, it does come with that pressing sheet that you see, and I'm using firm pressure with my iron to press it on. Go ahead and comment printable if you tried this material and let me know how you like it. And here is that heat and bond adhesive on the fabric, and I'm just going to use my heat press in the same way, but you could also use your iron for this. And how perfect is this bowl art for kitchen decor? One more project, but stick around for a super cheap bonus decor idea. Now using this wood plaque that came in a 2-pack from Hobby Lobby, I'm going to create a more rustic look by first staining around the edges with that gel stain again. And I created a print then cut project using images in Design Space that I printed and cut on cardstock. So here's that plaque with the stained edges, and I stained the back for a finished look. And I'm going to use that same heat activated Mod Podge method to adhere the design onto the front of the plaque. This verse is perfectly suited for a kitchen, but the shape of this cutout was slightly too big, so I used my paper trimmer to fix the corners. And again, we are using an even layer of Mod Podge, allowing it to dry completely, and then placing the paper and using heat to reactivate the Mod Podge. Now I thought the edges of the paper were a little too sharp, so I used some sandpaper to rough it up a little bit and create a softer look on the edges. I then decided to add another layer of Mod Podge over the top just for extra security. Now this did create some bubbles, but I used the heat again once it was dried and it did fix it. Now here's that super cheap bonus idea that I have my sister-in-law to thank for. It's using postcards as art. So I found this beautiful postcard at an antique store, and the frame is also secondhand, and I just trimmed the postcard slightly to fit in the frame, and this works beautifully in my gallery wall. Now, if you've never done a gallery wall, it's easy to create a layout on the back of some old wrapping paper, then trace the shape of your art pieces and mark the hanging hardware to transfer to your wall. And here is the final look of mine. Let me know which was your favorite budget wall decor idea, and subscribe for more Cricut home decor projects.